Hey, this is Calibos, and I am playing Enigmatica 2. Now, when we last left our intrepid hero, that would theoretically be me, we were intending to find peonies, which I did a little bit of research, and they actually belong in this area. However, all I can find are uh, the oh my gosh, what are they called? Uh, the other flowers from whatever that other mod is. Biomes of Plenty. So I'm wondering if they are like substituting. Um, so I did some research, and weird. So I did some research, and there is another way to get them. However, I need I need rose uh, rose bushes, which I had 5 in here before. I swear I had 5. I have no idea why there aren't 5. Um, what is a flowering grass block? So, oops. Um, so what I thought we would do is I thought that we would uh, um, we would go through Botania, because with Botania we can turn flowers into other flowers. Ta-da! So we can follow the chain and go in a big circle, as I recall. But rose bushes are just before peonies. And like I said, I thought I had 5, but I have 1. One's all we need. So if we do a little bit of Botania, we're there. And I've got to show you this because this is the coolest thing ever. And a little weird besides. So remember where is it? Giant skull. Here we go. Giant skull. So remember we were doing this and oh my gosh, seriously? There's another one right there. Now that I've found one that works. They're everywhere. But, so this is a giant skull. It's really cool. And I remember and falling in the water. I remember theorizing to you guys that it was hollow. But the coolest thing about it is not that it might be hollow, because it might be hollow. But I didn't want to like completely destroy it, so I started mining this side of it. Because bone fuck. And apparently it's freaking huge. Like stupidly big. So I have a theory that this isn't just like the skull, but maybe it's the entire skeleton. So if somebody knows for sure, I would really like to know. I'm not sure exactly where to look that up because I don't know what mod adds these in. But that is just crazy. So each one of these bone blocks is worth 9 bone meal. And so I have those in my inventory and these here. I basically picked up an entire inventory's worth of these things. Stacks of these bone blocks. So yeah, I leveled the pick that I was leveling for the miner because I wanted to give him an unbreakable pick similar to mine. With, he's only got luck 1 on it, but it's unbreakable. And that's fine. 4 times. It was a little crazy. But, tis what it is. So let's do Britannia. I'm not so bad at Britannia. I'm saying a lot. So there's a couple of different ways to start Britannia. One, if you get 2 poppies and 2 of the dandelions, what we're actually looking for is... Where is it? Gosh, and I don't even remember what it's called. It's floral fertilizer. So you can make the dandelion yellow and the bone meal and get 1. You can also use 4 petals, mix and match however you like with the bone meal, and get 1 as well. I thought it used to be 3, but it doesn't matter because this is 2 flowers, and on average this will give you somewhere between 3 and 5, I think. So it works out pretty nicely. We're gonna toss these. Okay, we don't want to lose that. Don't want to lose that. Don't want to lose that. So what we'll do is we're gonna junk 1 of these. Make sure that neither one of them are Elven Edition, because we collect Elven Editions here. So a couple of basic things that you need for Britannia. Don't know, if you're not familiar with it, it's pretty simple. You need bowls, and that gives you mortar and pestle, which is different from the one from roots, obviously. Now I am not so very organized most of the time. With Britannia, it definitely pays to be at least a little organized. So this is the thing that I do for Britannia. Let's find a nice Britannia spot. This looks like a great Britannia spot right here. Okay, but inward slightly. Oh my God, I've got an axe. What am I doing? Perfect. So, as I said, floral fertilizer, it's pretty easy to make, especially if you remember to make bone meal. And once you have the floral fertilizer, instant flowers. The one thing I think I would have checked to see if they had peonies in the... Okay, we're going to skip to daytime again. I'm sure I would have checked. Okay. So we have the most of the pink ones, and I do not think for the moment that we are doing anything with them. So we'll leave 1 intact. Right, let's do this again. So one of the reasons that I do this with Botania is not just that it makes finding them very easy, but also that it makes, making sure you have all of them very easy, because there are 16 and this is 16. So once they're all full, you have all the flowers. It's very simple. 2, 1, 2. My gosh. We want one of them, then we have 3 of them. Magenta is fine. So eventually this will get us a sampling of everything. There's actually a way of getting more of any petal that we want later. I think he just ran off. Come back here with my flowers. Jerk. Huh. I think he just told me off. So yeah, see, this is eventually getting all of them for us. So yeah, the math is pretty simple. Like 2 flowers gets us 3. I know. Like I said, there is actually a better way. So here, I'll show you because you guys should know this. So for example, if I take 2 pink petals, you can't see them anymore except for like little sparkles. You do this. Then you hit these with shears, and you get tall flowers. You can pull them apart. So you do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Then again. Now, there is a downside to this. And a lot of people will recommend this, and it does get you a lot of stuff fairly quickly. The downside is, of course, that you do actually need the regular flowers. Now, you don't need a lot of them, maybe, but you do need them. Because if you want to make the floating flowers and a couple of other things, you need the regular things, the regular flowers. On the other hand, this does set you up very nicely for making floral fertilizer. So going to make it daytime again. Again, shouldn't really do that. It does mess up mine colonies quite a lot. But at this point, I'm not really doing a lot with mine colonies. So I guess I'm not as worried about it. Just trying to get the majority of them. What color am I missing? Red, gray. Oh. Green? Was it green that I was missing? Maybe. Alright. So that gives us all of them. Certainly enough to get by on. Okay. Like that, I guess. Put the light gray one in here. And if we need more of any, we will just use, we will make more. So what I'm probably also going to do is this, and make a second one for petals. Again, you know, I'm not typically organized. Don't assume that I'm going to be doing crazy organized things. So to get started, we need 2 of these. We're also going to need some cobblestone. Here, cobble, cobble. Cobble. We'll need a slab too. These are polished andesite. Oh, that's compressed. We'll take that. A couple of those. I know. I'm just weird. So, what we actually need is called an apothecary, a petal apothecary. And we'll make this one. So we need 2 slabs, pretty much any petal or mushroom, and mushrooms you can find wandering around in caves, and they count as petals. So you can actually use them to get started in Botania in places where you're not finding flowers, as I recall. So let's dump some of that. Dump some of that. Alright. So we need a bucket. But not a bucket of milk. So if I were water, I would probably be hiding over here. Gosh, we're already at the 20-minute mark and I haven't really done anything except get started on Botania. I've even done a good start. So let's do this. We'll grab one of these, one of those. Don't worry, we're going to need a lot of random things, so we'll make one of those. We'll do it with a black one. It doesn't actually make a difference. You can use it with any petal equally. Make it daytime. We also need seeds. We need lots of seeds. I'll tell you a secret. That's really why I left that stack there. So the first thing that we have to do is we need a place to collect mana. And in Botania, that is called a mana pool. And they look like this. And in order to make this, we're going to need living rock, which we get by putting adjacents to a pure daisy. So pure daisy is 4 white petals or 4 shimmering mushrooms in a petal apothecary. Now it has to be filled with water. So you'll notice that I have water here, so we'll drop 4. And this is how we know that the recipe is correct. Toss this in here. You'll see that it has the recipe there. Then we drop in a seed. Boom. We have a pure daisy. So I suspect very strongly that there is a Botania quest book here. And we're just gonna check mark that. Alright, we have begun Botania. We have yet another quest book. So those things are everywhere. I typically don't even bother making them. Unless the quest requires it. Singularity. Wow, that's actually really cool. I just need some dynamite and we're TNT and we're golden, right? So I'm probably going to make a couple of these things, but be all and end all of it is this. See the white sparklies? The particle effects, as it were. That shows you that we are doing this correctly. It takes approximately a minute. So there's another cool thing about Botania. If we do this... Okay, it didn't work. Maybe it has to be done. So we have a second one of these. And so if you look, we also need a way to move mana. In Botania, that would be a mana spreader, which requires living wood, a petal, and a gold ingot. Now you get living wood by putting any wood next to a pure daisy. You still with me on this? See where this is going? Alright, let's go fetch some wood while we're... Let's go fetch some gold while we're waiting on that. Okay. So, whatever happens, I'm stopping this episode at 30 minutes. Probably. This time, maybe, I promise. I don't bore people. Here, gold. Gold. Hello, gold. Gold. So we're going to be needing a lot of stuff. I'm probably going to have to set up some okay. Oh, look, we have completed another quest. My gosh, we are so awesome at this. We'll need living wood and those runic altars and that. Look at that. We're like champions. Okay, these green balloons are hilarious. If you go find random hostile mobs like creepers and stuff and you attach these balloons to them, they float away. It is the funniest thing. I really need to... Oh man, I totally need to do some sort of storage solution. I'm struggling here. Let's switch it to daylight again. So now let's check our quest book, because we should probably just stick with the quest book. I mean, I don't need the quest book. But Phantom Face, do not know what that is. We'll investigate that later when we get to actually additions. So now we need a mana spreader, a mana pool. We'll probably also need a wand of the forest. So let's come over here. I think I've actually got some wood. And we'll take a bunch of this as well. And yeah, I've got a little bit of wood over here somewhere. Yeah. Look at that. Alright, so here's a quick outline of the plan. Pretty much what we're going to do is make a bunch more of the living wood and the living stone, living rock. It's kind of a slow process. Like I said, it takes about a minute. There are ways to automate it, but we're not quite there yet. Meanwhile, we need... Okay, it's probably a crafting recipe for that, so we'll just do this. So that would be a mana spreader. Ta-da! We're awesome. Let's put some of this stuff away. Alright, mana spreader. We are just shooting through this. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. Mending moss. I remember when that used to be cool. Okay, now we need a mana pool. So mana pool is pretty simple, if you'll recall. There we go, mana pool. So now we need a wand of the forest. Wand of the forest is pretty simple. It does actually require quite a bit of the living wood though. You'll need 3 living wood twigs, which are made with, 6 living wood in 2 stacks on top of each other. Then you arrange them thusly from, I think it's left to right only. I'm not sure that it works this other way. It could. Let's investigate. It does. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Not a lot of people really do that. So, wand of the forest. Quest. Oh, fish and chips. I like fish and chips. We'll put the radioactive material in there with all of our things. So, we're going to call it here. That is 30 minutes. I've made some progress. I'm actually going to try and not do too much Botania without, without recording it. Otherwise, I will definitely get ahead of myself, because I've done lots of Botania. It is a magical tech mod. So it is a tech mod in my mind. It's very reliable, it's consistent, it's methodical, it builds on itself. Where magical mods are fairly random, they're inconstant. The effects are not reliable. And I like reliable, inconsistent, can I say. But anyway, that's that. If you like the episode, leave a like. If you don't like it, don't leave a like, maybe. Tell me why in the comments section below. If you have hints, tips, or tricks that I could be using, stuff that I've missed, stuff that I should do, mods that you want me to do next on my list. I'm probably not going to do all of Botania now. I'm just getting into it just far enough to get back to roots. And unless somebody suggests something otherwise, I'll probably get into it after I do roots, so that we can see the comparison. So we'll see how that goes. So, hey, thanks for coming. You folks have a good night.